Hello again, everyone. So today I am here to share one of the smallest Pelikans that they ever made, as far as I know. And once I found out that there was this teeny tiny little Pelikan in existence, I decided that I had to get one. And I did this year. I did not unbox it on the channel. It was actually kind of anticlimactic because all of the packing materials were so heavy, and then out came this tiny little pen. So I have very small hands. I'm actually going to compare this to the other sizes that I have of Pelikan, just to kind of show you. I don't have the m600, but I do have, let me get this is the largest one I have, which is the m800. I mean, it's like baby and Papa Pen, pretty much. Let me get out. Oh, I should have gotten that out ahead of time, but I do have. And I'm actually not going to show you the ones that are not in the Souverain line. I'm just going to show you these. So actually, let me show you the one that's sort of coordinating with these. And this is the m400. So we have the m300, the m400, and the m800. I would say that the size increase is, incrementally about the same difference between these two and these two. So, but anyway, the m300 was recently discontinued, so it was a little bit hard for me to find, but I did manage to find one. And if you go for a special edition, they're like, oh, crazy. Like some people selling, there was a ruby one, which was super beautiful, but yeah, people are going nuts trying to sell that for a crazy amount of money. But if you do want to get one of these m300s, you're probably not going to have much chance for very much longer, because I have a feeling that a lot of people who didn't get one when they were readily available now realize that they want one, and they're going to be harder to get. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to load this up with ink and test it out on the channel. And this is sort of a twofer. So I am, and I do have an m600 coming. This was like the year of the Pelikan. And I love them all. I truly do. So they are pens that I'm going to keep forever, that'll probably be heirlooms forever. It's a really great brand, and I just love them. But for now, I am going to put these aside. I will do a writing test next to this one. So this is a fine. This is also probably a good, actually let me, because I do have my other 400 here. So this 400 is a extra fine. This one is, this one, the little one, is a fine. This one is a medium, and this one is a bold. So I essentially have the, it runs the gamut of the nib sizes. Had I planned ahead, I probably would have gotten them in the size that matched their size. But when I bought this one, I was like, oh man, this is such a big expense. I'm probably never going to get another one. And then, here we are. This one was a vintage one that I got used for a really great deal. And I think the nib might be a little different because it is vintage than these newer ones. So we'll see. Even though it's a medium, the current iteration may be a little bit different. So let me get out so here's my Tomoe River paper. You can see my nephew's little drawing through here, but I'm going to write on that page. So I'm trying to use every page in here. And I'm also going to ink this one up. So let me put those off to the side for a second. And this is actually a twofer because I am going to ink this up with iced cookie, which I will put a link down below to the video where I tried to swatch this ink. Sorry, I have to move things out of the way. My desk is so crowded. And I couldn't get the bottle open. So this was actually me able to get the bottle open afterwards. This is what it looks like here, Monteverde Iced Cookie. These were the other inks that I swatched along with it. Since then, I've also swatched some Pilot Konpeki, which is also a lovely ink. And I am going to put this swatch book aside, but I'm going to fill it with that iced cookie. Although it does not match the color, I don't really, because I have so many green inks and other pens, I kind of wanted to mix it up a little bit. So for this pen, as with every other Pelikan, you turn the piston until it stops, essentially, and then you put it in your bottle of ink. And I have a paper towel off to the side here. I actually needed help from my husband to open this bottle because I really could not get it open. He couldn't get it open either. He ended up using the backside of kitchen shears to muscle it open. Okay, so I went back and forth a couple of times because generally the first fill is never the best. And let's go ahead and wipe that all off there. Hopefully we've got a good fill there. In order to see the fill, you kind of have to hold it up to the light in order to see through. This is somewhat transparent when you hold it up to the light. Okay. Now, I know you're thinking, that is one teeny tiny pen. But when you post it, it's actually a pretty decent size. Some people may not like how thin the grip area is because, you know, depending on your grip, it may not be comfortable for you. But let's go ahead and see. So this is the Pelikan. Oh, and it's a very nice flexi nib. M300. And this is a, what did I say, a fine nib? Actually, now that I'm looking at that, that is a medium nib. That is not a fine. Oh, right. So it is a medium nib. I remember now. So I actually got the fine in the pen that I'm waiting on. The M600. Okay, so this is it. Because I was like, ooh, this is pretty thick. Medium nib. But it's a very flexy medium, which is interesting because the other medium that I have in the vintage pen is not flexy. It's quite a nice ink, actually. So let's go ahead and do, oops, getting a little bit of a hard start there. I did not clean out this pen beforehand, and it seems like, we'll see, I might have to, let's see, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Yes, I remember now. Medium was the only size I could get. It was either medium or bold, and I went for the medium. So this is pretty, I'm definitely having a little bit of hard start here. I could be because I did not clean it before filling with ink. It flows very nicely, so I'm not quite sure what that could be. But like I said, this is my first time writing with it. And we'll have to see whether that continues. And if so, I probably will clean it out, because sometimes that affects your ink flow. Okay, so there's that one. I'm going to test the, so this is the Pelikan M400. This is an extra fine. No hard starts there. Still a little, you know, there's a little bit of tooth to it on the page, but I still love this pen. Let me actually... Okay, so that started right up this time. Maybe also sometimes the ink needs a little bit of time to sort of lubricate the feed, if that's what you call it. See, so I'm not getting those same hard starts. So that just might be it too. It seems like it's working fine now. And actually, well, it's a little bluer than the pen, but it's quite nice with that. And then let's go with this Pelikan, because this is also a medium, M400 medium. And it looks very different. This one looks a little bit thicker than this one, probably because this one doesn't really have any flex. this one, which is because it's vintage. I suppose they had a different nib model, whereas this one has a lot more flex to it. I mean, you're gonna, and that was not a hard start. I just didn't put it down all the way on the paper. Yeah, you're getting a much more flexy feel. So this one's actually probably more what I would consider like a bold or broad. Let's see. This is a true broad. This is the Pelikan m800, and this is broad. Yep, I would say that's very similar to this, which is fine because I love this nib. And the little baby pin here, which I'm going to call it from now on, little baby pin. Oh no, and it did have another hard start. Wow, okay, what's going on with you? Little baby pen. Yeah, I may just have to clean it, because it's flowing well other than that, like really well. But yeah, it's definitely very similar in line. I would actually say that this one might even be bolder than that one, but, and you know, that's true of most pens. You're going to have a lot of variation in the nib width. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. Got a little bit of a hard start issue. We'll see what that's about. I might end up emptying this out, cleaning it out, and see if I have the same issue. But other than that, it writes really wonderfully. And I actually really like this ink, this iced cookie from Monteverde. All right. Well, that's it for today. Feel free to subscribe to keep track of future videos on my channel. I hope you can do that. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And I hope to see you next time. That's what I meant to say. I hope to see you next time. But in the meantime, have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.